A big topic in the news recently has been the NHS. However, many people don't know its story, from its conception, evolution, and on to the modern day crisis affecting its very existence. Let's break it down. The NHS was founded in 1948 by Prime Minister Clement Attlee and his Minister of Health Aneurin Bevan after recommendations from the 1942 Beveridge Bill. It was eventually created to provide healthcare to all UK residents, regardless of their ability to pay. The NHS progressed and flourished through its first 60 years, celebrating lots of memorable achievements, including the first liver transplant in Europe in 1968. However, the late 2000s is where it started to show signs of struggle. Post the global financial crash of 2008, the UK was in a delicate position. Money had to be saved, and with an ever-growing population, tough decisions had to be made. What followed was the NHS funding increase, reducing from 3.7% to 1.1%, limited funds for capital investment, and neglect of workforce planning. This led to skilled staff shortages, increased waiting times, and staff burnout, amongst many other issues. This downward trend continued through the 2010s. As we entered the unknown world that was the COVID-19 pandemic, the NHS was already under strain. As COVID ravaged the country, the NHS was pushed to its breaking point. Staff were directly in the line of exposure. Volunteers were needed. Patient prioritisation became the norm. The government pumped money into the NHS to help the crisis, but this was not sustainable. Outside the NHS, people stood in their streets celebrating the NHS. They were our key workers. Attitudes toward the NHS would have to change post-pandemic, surely. Since the pandemic, little has changed. The recently appointed Labour government have allocated an extra £25.7 billion in NHS spending. However, the backlog from COVID will affect the NHS for the coming years. Violence towards staff has increased, and patients continue to be treated in the halls. After years of neglect, this is not a quick fix. The NHS is unique, and without protection, it will continue to break until it's beyond repair. Everything was meant to change, but has anything actually changed at all? Can the NHS be saved, or will it just become another relic of the past?